Thursday, May 18th, 2023 at 12:03 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Journaling. Emotional manipulation and what that means to me. Emotional manipulation is when someone uses someone else's weaknesses against them, whether detectable or undetectable, to have them submit to their wants and needs selfishly while portraying false emotions in order to appear as if they have that person's best interest at heart. It's mostly like gaslighting, It's almost like gaslighting, but emotional manipulation takes it even further. It's like if narcissism, sneakiness, and gaslighting all had a baby. That would then be emotional manipulation for me. So many people in this world are being emotionally manipulated through just about everything and anything that people can be emotionally attached to. Things such as politics, racism, relationships of all kinds, your workplace, money, and a host of other things. The one thing that we can all relate to the most are our relationships with others. I went majority of my life being emotionally manipulated and hadn't realized it up until just about a year ago. I was even blindsided to someone who was emotionally manipulating me just a week ago, and just now noticing that they had been my whole life. Emotional manipulators, whether they consciously know that they are doing it or not, prey on the weak. To be fair, we all have weak spots. This is why I am spreading the word on this piece of elixir in life that is self-love and unconditional love for yourself, then onto others. Now that I know myself enough to know what I am not and to have discovered my weaknesses or shadows, I now cannot be deceived by this kind of magic, because to me, this is a form of magic. Every magician has their tricks, and let's just say, once you know their tricks, you can no longer be fooled by them, whether high vibrational or low vibrational. It's only in knowing more of yourself or self-realization are you able to easily detect that something is off. Some magicians are so good that you may feel like something is not right or something's off, but just cannot quite put your finger on it. Your gut feelings or signals sent to you from the unseen are giving you heads up to see past their illusions. The unseen forces in this world can see what we cannot, and we all are always receiving signs and synchronicities from them to help us along our paths. It is so important to listen to those feelings of uneasiness, no matter how much you are emotionally invested into someone or something. Again, emotional manipulators are usually masters at their craft, and low vibrational ones prey on the weak on the weak, on the weaknesses that they can clearly see within others. So how do you detect one? An emotional manipulator, that is. Well, first and foremost, get to know yourself and start to realize the things that you are not. Start to speak to yourself with nothing but the truth and discover your weaknesses through self-inventory and deep introspection of yourself. But let's just say right where you are in life now, you are wanting to see if someone is emotionally manipulating you. If you have someone that is overly protective and they overgive, they are there to support you and listen to you, but there are times that are super rare that they drop the ball. But they drop the ball on something that really, really hurts your feelings, and you really need them. They understand and see how badly you seek for their comfort within this specific time of emergency. Emergency, okay, need, and they let you cry and mourn alone. If you are left with the confusion of how someone so nice, caring, supportive, and understanding can just leave you when they have the clear capability to be there emotionally for you, and they are actively choosing not to, this is a sign of an emotional manipulator. They are also very good at saying certain things and signaling certain words to you that makes you do things for them that they do not necessarily ask you directly for. If you do things without them directly asking you to do it, and sometimes it can feel a bit sacrificial, you may be under the influence of an emotional manipulator. Emotional manipulators thrive on people doing things for them at the drop of a hat, almost like people sacrificing their time, effort, morals, and even honor just to have people feel like they owe them. And, I have to start that over. Emotional manipulators thrives on people doing things for them at the drop of a hat, almost like people sacrificing their time, effort, morals, and even honor, just to have people feel like they owe them that. And now you will need to please them in the ways listed above. These are people who have fallen from grace. They are usually of hierarchy within their community. This can even be pastors and reverends in church, nuns, priests, and priestesses. There's no discrimination when it comes to a low vibrational, emotional manipulator. They are so good at their magic. You don't even realize that you are under their control. You may get signals from people outside of you telling you something isn't right within your relationship dynamic with that person. Spirit speaks through people as well to give you the tea. What the emotional manipulators do is they mold. They prey on the weaknesses of people. They control. They need to be pleased and make people bend at their will. They make these same people feel bad or like you are fake if you don't do what they are insinuating. Most emotional manipulators, the really good, undetectable ones, never really asks for things they want and want people to do or believe. They instead insinuate, instigate, and falsify to get people to believe in their magic. But we all know that a liar that lies has to continue to lie in order to keep up with masking the truth. If you see any, and I mean any, inconsistencies, usually they are extreme in nature. However, very, very rarely shown. This is an emotional manipulator. How can you push back or get an emotional manipulator to show their true colors? Easy, easy, easy. First, do not do anything that is not clearly and directly asked of you to do from them. They must ask what they want of you, even if you know what they mean. Ask them to say clearly what they mean or want. Second, if at any time you have to go out of your way to do what was directly and clearly asked of you to do by them or from their mouth, politely tell them clearly and directly that you are unable to do that. Once they ask why, tell them the truth. It's too much for me at this time, and I do not want to do it. Do this every time you feel like you are being stretched thin. Too much of your energy is being used. It goes against your morals or ethics, or if it's something you believe to be wrong and do not believe in. That's it. Set boundaries to this person in terms of what harms you or is an inconvenience to you at the end of the day. Do not be, what does that say? Oh, okay. Do not be wooed by the showering of gifts, supports, love, or anything else. Be grateful and allow, because receiving is giving and giving is receiving. But do not sacrifice yourself because you feel like you need to now please that person for giving you or showering you, for gracing you or showering you. Friends, family, people who truly love you will give out of the kindness of their heart. They will support you and love you out of the kindness of their hearts. They wouldn't only do things strictly only if you repay them. Through your exertion, your time, your sacrifice. People who love you may not overshower you with things, but best believe that in your times of need, they will be there emotionally for you, because that is what people who loves you would do. They wouldn't leave you to battle hurt, grief, sorrow, heartbreak, emotional pain all by yourself. People who loves you unconditionally, for you to hurt, it would truly hurt them in return. For an emotional manipulator, they thrive on your feelings being hurt. They need you to see that they know you are hurting, but they are unavailable in those moments. This is a huge part of their molding phase, to shower you with love, gifts, support whenever. Most of the time, it's just because. We all love a just because. It's so thoughtful in nature and kind and attentive when maybe we are not receiving these things from people around us who truly loves us. But there is a distinct difference when it comes to unconditional love and conditional or transactional love. Again, in your time of need, those who love you unconditionally would never leave you to hurt by yourself. And they will be there emotionally for you every single time. Every single time. Someone who is an emotional manipulator will strategically pick the times that they are there for you and the times where magically and ironically they are not available emotionally. Even after the fact, an emotional manipulator, because they are wearing a false mask, won't even acknowledge your hurt or pain. Yes, because they do not care. But also, they do not have the emotional capacity to have empathy or sympathy. It is quite difficult for an emotional manipulator to not only indulge in their feelings, but cater to the feelings of others. The only time they feel pleasure, that is to see someone else going through pain and heartache. The same pain and heartache that is silent and numb within them. They truly believe that they are strong and wise, charming even. They believe that people who cry are sensitive and empathetic are weak. But in reality, emotional manipulators are people who once were sensitive, empathetic, sympathetic, charming even, loving, who had experienced something or someone so cold in their life that has caused them to, that has done something to them that has caused them to close their heart chakra. It's so bad that they get off on people sacrificing themselves for their pleasure. People in pain, harsh pain. People who are pure in nature and are innocent. They don't realize that they are really idolized. Emotional manipulators do not realize that they really idolize pure natured, innocent people. They aspire to be the very people they prey on. They get to feel and have emotions from these innocent people, feelings and emotions that are numb within them. They want to feel again badly, actually. They long for those qualities that they once had. They yearn to prove that sensitivity, crying, and empathy is weak, and that insensibility and not having any feelings are stronger. At least that's what they tell themselves, LOL. The real tea, again, they want to be just like the people they prey on. So they use them by living through them in order for them to have the capability to feel again. They need that in order to feel alive and not like the walking dead. Most of these people do not even realize that they do this, typically on a subconscious level and unconsciously. They try their best to fit in and, excuse me. Oh, there you go. They try their best to fit in and act out the emotions. And sure, some people buy it, but those like me who are sensitive, empathetic, sympathetic, and who loves everyone unconditionally will catch on. We will first receive the signals and signs straight to our gut or intuition. Then we will slowly but surely pick up on the inconsistencies, because now we have no choice but to be on alert from the alarms, bells, and whistles going off inside of us. Our hearts know the truth at all times. The truth will always be there waiting for us to discover it. You need to be able to feel from your heart space. You need to have unconditional love for yourself first, then onto others, in order to get the signals from the unseen forces that's telling you something is off. If your heart chakra is closed off, you will not receive the urgency of the signal. If you are more logical and practical minded, without being tapped into your feelings or heart space, you will only justify your actions and decision making through the explanation of what feels off. You will need an explanation no matter what your gut tells you. But by then, it could be too late. This literally can be the difference between life and death in most cases. People who are insensitive have to rely on their smarts and intellect to see with their two eyes the inconsistencies. Those who are tapped into their emotions, feelings, or who are sensitive in nature rely on their gut and do not need an explanation or to see with their two eyes in order to understand the urgency within the signal. When you are living in a state of unconditional love for yourself first, then onto others, you will see through any and all illusions from people and situations. It's like your heart has eyes along with the pair you see through. You will work with both your left and right side of your brain, logical and intuition, not just one or the other. There are strengths in being smart and intelligent, but there is equal and opposite strengths in living and perceiving intuitively. Using both gives you more capacity of realizing the truth. Do not allow your life to be controlled by another. Free yourself. It's simply unbelievable. The people who you think would never hurt you. These are the very people who in fact are being sneaky, gaslighting you, and who make you feel so unworthy. Side note, it's a feeling. It's usually not blatantly obvious, and you may even think like, geez, am I jealous of this person? No, you are receiving projections of how they really feel inside. Happens all the time. Okay? These are the very people who in fact are being sneaky, gaslighting you, and who make you feel so unworthy. But the thing that cannot be touched is true love. Because wherever love flows, and when you let love in, anything that is not genuine is eventually illuminated and simply cannot survive where unconditional love lies. When people lie, whether big or small, they are in fact taking love for granted. Truth is love, and love is truth. People who lie to benefit themselves, decisions, feelings, self-perception, is effectively taking your love away from you. They do not see any wrong in little lies or small insinuations or bending the truth, but it can literally change people's trajectory in life. It is life and death influenced at the end of the day. These very lies can take away someone's inheritance. You have to set boundaries with yourself and with people, places, and things, no matter how much you love them. You can love a liar, a cheat, a manipulator, a narcissist. We all can. But it doesn't mean you have to be around them or support them in ways that takes away from who you are. Someone who takes away your happiness, your energy, your glow, your innocence, your truth or love. As long as you have no boundaries, you are open and susceptible to false truths and are ultimately being emotionally manipulated. The reason why we do not even attempt to vet certain people within our lives is because it is simply unbelievable and unbearable to even think or insinuate that those very people would purposefully deceive us. It also would hurt your heart so much to learn of such a truth. You will have to change a once solid dynamic and understanding to one that immediately ceases to exist. Side note, and in some cases, when you love yourself, when you love yourself, you put your love for self first before the love, comfort, acceptance, validation, confirmation, actions, and more of another, no matter what. Most people in this world are scared of the truth because of that. They'd rather not know or seek the truth in fear of change, going against the status quo, fear of heartbreak and emotional pain, fear of always had been wrong, not really understanding or allowing the understanding that the truth is love and love is the truth. By giving unconditional love to self first, then onto others, you will undoubtedly not be afraid of the truth, admitting when you are wrong, and changing for the sake of love and the peace of mind and wisdom that it brings thereafter. By getting acquainted with love or truth, you allow yourself to keep love alive within your heart, thus keeping an open heart. You allow yourself to stand firm on what your personal values are, your self-worth, your personal beliefs. And when you get firm on these things simply by knowing what you do not like and the things that you are not, you will always get the truth of the matter when you seek it. When you put people first, do not acknowledge or know what your weaknesses are. Afraid of the truth, or afraid of change or being wrong on things, which is very natural as we evolve and grow. You will be susceptible towards deceit, both self-deceit and external deceitfulness. When you don't know yourself or seek to know yourself, you can be hurt so many times as to where your hurt can close. And next thing, or your heart maybe can close. And next thing you know, you can go from being the preyed upon, to the one now emotionally manipulating others. I am speaking from experience here. My weakness was love and feeling deprived of it my whole life. I just wanted love so bad that I actually knew I was being used for my energy, my good luck, my money, my capacity to love in their times of need. I, in return, was emotionally manipulating people by having those who I knew could care less to be around me to show me fake love that I was just eating up, because that's how depleted I was of love and how desperately I wanted my high capacity of love reciprocated. I effectively bought their love by being who I was not at my core in order to receive the emotions of what I needed. I was acting as if these people had the same capacity to love and got upset at them for not continuing to portray what I needed, and deep down knew that they were incapable of being on a permanent or genuine basis. It took for me to take my love and pour every single ounce of it into myself. Once I started doing this, I received a flood of truths that I could not see before. Truths about me and truths about people who were around me. Through my self-love and realization, practices, and routines, I was able to go from conditional love, in which this was the only form of love that I knew, bringing myself to living in unconditional love now. It turned out that the only form of love that was being shown to me was one that was transactional. It didn't agree with the love I had to offer all along, which is unconditional. Even being the emotional manipulator I was, it did not agree with me. So I decided to give myself what no one else around me was giving: a best friend, a lover and life partner, someone patient and who will love me for my faults, someone willing to grow with me, who will allow me to apologize and correct mistakes, someone who doesn't care if my hair is messed up or if my stomach and breast hangs. She will literally love me the same and hold the same value and worth when my hair is pretty, stomach is tight, and has on a push-up bra. Someone who knows how sexy and beautiful I am inside and out. Someone who loves me and will give me the tea and the truth without sugarcoating it at all times. Someone who isn't afraid to tell me to sit my ass down, LOL, you doing too much. Or, hey, that was judgmental and not of unconditional love. Someone who will tell me that I am wrong and need to take the time to fix it. Someone who will hold me when I cry, who will tell the divine inner child in me that everything will be okay and that she will never, ever, ever leave my side. Someone who will help me process my anger, my resentments, Someone who will help me process my anger, my resentfulness, my grief and sorrow without judgment. Someone who will pick me up when I am down and will have patience for me. Me, myself, and I will do this. I do not need anyone to provide me with these things or tell me my value or worth by means of validation or even confirmation. This is the power and elixir of life that is given to each and every single one of us. Love. Do not judge people off of the job they hold, the cars and homes they own, the clothes that they wear, the hairstyles, the fact that they go to church, the age that they are, the amount of money, if they are pregnant at a young age, if they are Republican or Democrat, if they are black or white. If you really want to know the quality of someone, judge them by their hearts and the way they choose to love and express themselves. Love is key and love is truth. Nothing that is ingenuine or deceitful can survive in a space where true love and unconditional love lies. People show you who they are all the time. Do not ignore the signs. Love is not hard. The truth is, I'll say that again. People show you who they are all the time. Do not ignore the signs. Love is not hard. The truth is love. Love is here to love unconditionally, without judgment or discrimination. Okay, I see. Let me say that one more time. My apologies. Okay. People show you who they are all the time. Do not ignore the signs. Love is not hard. The truth is, love is here. Okay. Oh my God. I'm so sorry, you guys. One more time. Love is not hard. The truth is, love is here to love unconditionally without judgment or discrimination. Get your emotions intact so that those who prey on your sensitive nature will have no choice but to have the sun, which is you, illuminated on what once was in the dark. If you are someone who falls in the emotional manipulator category or the one who is the perpetrator and you know this, but you can't find a way to stop. If by chance you want to stop and be a better person, someone who cares, feels, loves, and healthier ways. The words spoken here are for you too. Again, generally speaking, any of us who are emotionally attached in any way to something or someone can fall victim, no matter what side you are on. Speaking specifically to you, you need to start by telling yourself the truth. It will hurt. But the only way to get to the other side is by allowing love in. Write a letter to yourself, telling the truth about yourself, your ways, what makes you aroused and happy, and why these things make you happy. Within all of that, you will undoubtedly receive the truth, because at that moment, you are giving yourself unconditional love. You deserve unconditional love from exactly where you are in life. We are all not perfect, not completely healed. We won't be. Instead, we are constantly healing. We are constantly evolving and growing and thus changing. You are loved by me, Ashanti Renee Hummins, for exactly who you are right now in this moment. And as long as you hold even a shred of hope, you can and will make it to the other side. Start practicing self-love and realization routines, and watch how quickly that these burdens you no longer want to hold just starts to fall away. You will begin to feel again. At first, it is painful, even for those who are preyed upon. Because the truth opens your heart chakra. Sensitivity, crying, empathy opens the heart to be able to give love and receive love, thus have a peace of mind regardless of anything. However, soon after, there's freedom, there's peace, there's vitality, there's so much hope and promise for you in life. Forgive yourself and forgive those you hurt. Forgive yourself and forgive those who hurt you. You are worthy of unconditional love and forgiveness from yourself if no one else around you will. I love you, Ashanti Hummins.